Hey guys, this is the Writing Prompt channel. Here, we take posts from Reddit and read out loud the best stories with the help of a bot. Enjoy this amazing story. The Writing Prompt by Yusuf Lechok. Some blamed humanity. Others said it was nature running its course. A few said it was aliens. Everyone had reason for the ever-soaring temperatures of our planet. Everyone was wrong. In 2083, as the world was about to go through its death throes, the incubation period ended, and magic was born. Here is the amazing story made with the help of the prompt by user AI. On July 27, 2083, I gripped my father's hands tightly as he sunk into his old armchair, the one he'd had for the last 50 years. Checked his respirator mask, then my own. Made sure the fans weren't about to lose power. Opened a window, just for kicks, because even though that was risky, it wasn't as though there was much point anymore. Covered him with a cooling blanket. Let him rest. Held him close. The faint hum of an old screen somewhere in the background, harking on the news we all saw coming. I sat perched on the armrest that night, glancing out to the red dust skies, remembering. I didn't remember much before everything went grey, then orange, then crimson, or a day without a mask. My father did. He remembered the blue, the clear. Dad, we've made it this far. Peanut, his voice was croaky, strained, and we made it to the end. It's strange, isn't it? Quote, strange, how it's us, how your mother is gone, and your brothers too, your husband, your daughter. And now it's just me and you. Amy, my dear, sweet, beautiful Amy. I don't know if I was crying, whether a single tear rolled down my cheek or I collapsed into sobs. It's all the same to me now. Now, finally, he continued, letting out a weary sigh. We get to rest to join the Messiah? I love you, Dad. I love you so much. Then, I remember the screen shouting something. To sleep soon. To make sure you weren't conscious by midnight. To make it all less painful. To make it smooth. A graceful exit for the human race. As though the whole thing was explainable and inevitable, they'd shut off the communications. Let the world fall deeply, unsettlingly silent until it was gone. A few final moments where it would mourn itself. July 27, 2083. The last day of the world. Running with a strange, calm bureaucracy to it. Nobody expected to wake up on July 28, 2083. At first, I thought I was in some kind of afterlife. Heaven, or maybe hell, depending on what you believed. I remember it being strangely, unnaturally cold. I remember looking, searching for James, whose wedding ring I still wore. For Quinn, who I almost foolishly hoped would be running around with him. Waving her tiny arms, I searched for my mother and my brothers, calling out Ami and Will as though they'd hear me through wherever I was. Screaming like a mad woman. It still looked like I was at home with my father, though the sky was a brilliant blue, the wonderful shade I'd always imagined it to be. I don't know why I felt like they would have been there, that they should have been there, hiding in rooms or walls or cupboards, waiting to reunite. It was only when my father stirred that I realized the world had not ended. And the tearful hug we immediately shared became immediately overshadowed by the event that came after, because as I stood there, still in shock with a rueful, disbelieving smile plastered across my face, my hair began to glow in indigo shade and rise, clouding my vision, defying gravity in wispy tufts, as though it floated underwater. I think I screamed, loudly. Or he did. Maybe both. I stumbled backwards into the armchair, the jolt startling the force that had taken control of my hair back to earth, and scrambled for the remote. The news seemed to be in a state of haste. Not that anyone could blame the Messiah, I didn't catch everything. Only that somehow, everything reset, plunging back 200 years in climate. Nobody knew how, or why, but most suspected it was linked, somehow, to the other major revelation, the unexplainable. They kept calling it Although it was more commonly known as magic, they kept calling it the unexplainable because that was exactly what magic was. What everyone knew, what humanity had resigned as mere fiction. We hadn't all died on July 27th. We'd just had the laws of the universe rewritten. And now was the mad scramble. We both were transfixed to the morning bulletin. The reports of flying, telekinesis, invisibility, super speed, and wondered just how we'd all adjust. My father's face soon became filled by a deep sadness. We soon learned that no two powers were the same. With the world population decimated to just millions, it seemed like that made sense. So registries were set up. Humanity organized itself into new governments, bodies of regulation and law, and attempted to make sense of the chaos. I learned to use my power. What it was, moving things with my mind. But with a catch. Whatever I did was not controlled only with thought, but through my emotions. It took a while to control. Then it was there, on my official records. Amy Fleckwood, psychokinesis, pathos variant, purple, asterisk. My father's power took time to manifest. He watched me practice around the house from his armchair. He'd page through old photo albums, really old, physical ones, which I'd never seen anywhere else. I remember days, the quietest days, the birthdays and the old holidays, where he'd say to me, "Isn't it strange we're here and they're not?" Quote. I never knew how to respond. On February 12, 2084, I found my father having a conversation with my mother. She glistened in the reflection of the mirror, smile bright and warm, chatting about something as though she'd never left. My father's face was the liveliest I'd ever seen. "Hi, monsieur?" I think I fainted. Then I talked to her too. And then he found James and Quinn. And I wept real, embarrassing tears. The little girl looking older every day I saw her there. In the other world. He found Army and Will. And we all reminisced with the monsieur. He told me how it was strangely beautiful now. How we were the ones that made it to the end, but they had too. It's just me and you, Peanut. But we're not alone. The end. Thank you guys for checking out this channel. Please subscribe, like and share this video. See you in next one. Thank you and goodbye.